So welcome to HL 4.13. This is specific material for topic 4, HL. And we've already seen conditional probability, but here we could see that the main difference is going to be that we're going to be using Bayes' theorem with up to three events, right? So in the past we might have seen a bit fewer, or we might have seen only 2 events, but now we're going to see 3 different events and how we could use this for how we use Bayes' theorem in order to solve these types of problems. So let's see what it looks like. We'll start off with a straightforward one. We've seen a problem like this before, but this will be a nice little review. Bayes' theorem is an important topic in statistics. Right, so here we have a factory which produces light bulbs, and 5% of the light bulbs we know are defective, and the quality control has a 95% chance of correctly identifying these defective ones. But also with the non-defective ones, it has a 90% chance of being correct as well, which means that 10% of the time it'll falsely identify a bulb as defective. And as a result, when the control system claims that a bulb is defective, it won't always be the case. It might be the case that one of these non-defective bulbs were incorrectly identified as being defective. And now they ask us, given this, if a bulb is randomly selected and tested, and the test comes back positive for being defective, what is the probability that it is actually defective? So what are we doing, or what is Bayes' theorem going to tell us to do? It's telling us, if we look at the formula, it's telling us that we want to, first off, in our denominator, we're going to be, what is the probability of getting, in general, what is the probability of getting, or what is the probability of having the quality control identify a bulb as defective? So I feel it's easier than rather than looking at the formula, we could just think about it very intuitively. So what are the possibilities? We have 5% of the bulbs are defective. So 5% of the time when you choose a bulb, it will be defective. And of that 5%, 95% of those 5% will be correctly identified as defective. And 5% of the time, it won't identify it. But when else will it identify a bulb as being defective? Well, for the 95% of the time that the bulbs are not defective, for the 95% of the time that the bulbs are fine, what's going to happen? We know that 10% of the time it's going to misidentify the bulb as defective, because we're told that only 90% of the time it correctly identifies non-defective bulbs as non-defective, which means that 10% of the time it will incorrectly identifiable as being defective. So that's all the ways that we can have. That's the total probability for the quality control randomly choosing a bulb and identifying it as defective. And we want to know, given that it falls within that probability, what is the chance that it actually was defective? So that's really only this part right here, right? That's that probability right there, 0.05 times 0.95. Refers specifically to the bulbs that were correctly identified as defective. So we could plug this probability into our calculator. 0.05 times 0.95 comes out to, that is 0.0475 divided by that number. I'll just write it out just to make it even more clear. 0.0475. Plus that 0.95 times 1, 0.95 times 0.1, or 0.095. And let's see what that gives us. So we end up with now, let me type it out, let me actually divide it out. We get 0.0475 divided by 0.0475 plus 0.095, and that gives me 1/3. Exactly 1/3 of the time. 0.333 is the final answer. In other words, given that a bulb was identified as being defective, really only 30% of the time, only 1/3 of the time, will that bulb actually be defective. And that stems from the fact that, well, of the 95% of the bulbs that are not defective, 10% of those will be identified incorrectly as defective, All right, so something to think about it. Bayes theorem. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes a little bit more intuitive and logical. But right, a lot of things in life we see actually follow that type of phenomenon, where in this case, quality control, because there's so many non-defective light bulbs and quality control is not perfect. The ones that are identified as being defective, it turns out that most of those will actually be fine. So it might require further testing in this case, in this type of problem. We see similar phenomenon also with medical tests as well. Right? If a disease is pretty rare, it might falsely identify somebody as being sick, and then you require further testing just to verify things. That's also a common problem for Bayes theorem, testing based on medical testing. But let's go on. In part B, not a Bayes theorem problem, but it's requiring us to, going back to an older probability problem, in a sample of 5 bulbs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, find the probability that exactly one is defective. So we know that there's a 5% chance. So it's not referring, right? Just to clarify, it's not referring to the chance of being identified as defective, right? We're not looking at quality control. All we're looking is that the 0.5% chance of being defective, and also 95% of being non-defective. So this right here is one way in a batch of 5 that will have one defective light bulb. But if we look at this here, right, this could really be arranged. Out of the 5, we could rearrange this 5 different times. Right? I could put that one defective light bulb could be in any of the other 4 positions. In other words, there's 5 different ways that we could arrange these bulbs, which is why we're going to end up multiplying 0.05 times 0.95 to the 4th. So it's going to be 0.05 times 0.95 to the 4th times 5C1, which is 5, times the 5 ways that we can rearrange those light bulbs. And that comes out to a probability of 0.05 times 0.95 to the 4th times 5. Gives me a probability, in this case, that gives me a probability of, let me make sure, here, 0.05 times 0.95 to the 4th times 5 gives me, in this case, a probability of 0.203. 0.20 after rounding. And so that would be my final answer for that one. Good. Now let's move on to question 2. So question 2 is going into really HL specific material, where we actually have 3 events here, right? We have, in this case, candy brand X, candy brand, which is 80%, candy brand Y, which makes 15% of this candy, and candy brand C, which makes the remaining 5%. And there's also, in this case, defects, and they want to know if a randomly selected candy is then tested and it's found to be defective, find the probability that's coming from brand X. Let's take a look here. Again, we're going to have Bayes theorem, and we want to figure out what are all the ways, what's the total probability that we could have detect defective candy. So one way is coming from brand X, which is 80% of the market. And of those, we see the candies that have a 4% rate of defects. So, assuming that there's no issues with the detection, it's going to be times 4%, plus candy Y, which is 0.15% of the market. And of those, we know that there are 6% defects. And the final one is brand Z, which has a 9% rate of defects. Now, given that we choose one of these, we choose a candy and one of them is defective, what is the probability that's coming from this first one here? Right. So even though candy Z has the most defects, because candy X is the most prevalent in the market, should be the most likely one, but we'll do the math anyway. Right. So that is the equation that we're going to see. And now let us just type it in again on the calculator. So we have, let's see, 0.8 times 0.04 plus candy Y, which is 0.15 times 0.06 plus 0.05 times 0.09. That gives me a total probability of, let me see, 0.0455. That's the total likelihood of getting a defective candy. But specifically from that candy X is 0.8 times 0.04, which is 0.032. And then that comes out to 0.0455. In this case, that comes out to 0.703. In other words, there's a 70% chance that that defective candy came from X. The numbers make somewhat sense. We know that X was 80% of the market, but it was a little bit less likely to have a defective candy. And that's why it comes out to, if you're taking that defective candy, or if you're getting a defective candy, it is a little bit less, 70.3% in the end. So that brings us to the conclusion of 4.13. A lot of Bayes Theorem practice. The whole standard was Bayes Theorem for the most part. We saw a little bit of, we saw a part B of number 1. We saw a binary distribution problem, but it was all statistics here, right? And that will bring us now to 4.14, which I believe is the final standard of statistics of topic 4. Okay, so see you there.